Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Wild Chats, your home for everything animals. I am Ryan. That over there is Maria. How you doing today, Maria?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing okay. Doing okay. We're gonna do some baby animal fails today, and I feel like I started the show, like the pre-show, off with a little fail. Like my eye was burning, so I put in these eye drops, and they have like this cooling factor to them now, which for like the 6 months that I used them initially was like, ooh, that's so relieving. It's fantastic. I don't know if they expire or what happens, but I put them in today, and it's like I think that the eye drop somehow made it worse. So if you guys see me like blinking through the show, I'm not winking at you like checking you out or anything. My eye is just doing a thing. So I had my own little non-baby animal, but still equal fail to start the morning. But that
I
you just
get you. I removed my glasses, and like the first couple of episodes, I was reviewing them and I realized that I blink a lot. And it's like, okay, you gotta stop blinking that much. It looks weird.
okay.
But I feel like my eyes are trying to adapt to not wearing the glasses, not that I
Okay.
actually need them.
Okay. So don't delve too deep into this video, guys. If we're blinking, it's not like a special blink code that says "save me" or like they do in the movies, or like, oh, he's tapping out Morse code. Like there's some secret going on here. No, no, Maria's just minus glasses, and I had like a little eye drop incident. So that's kind of this
As you
morning.
can see, clearly.
We want to make sure we start off with the vibe of the video. And since it was going to be baby animal fails, we just wanted to be a little discombobulated just to get going. So that energy was passing through.
That's awesome.
Yeah, why not? Um, so baby animals are always fun because you're learning, you're trying to figure it out. I mean, baby humans got to learn how to crawl and then walk. It takes us a little longer than some other animals, but in part of that learning, you get some funny circumstances, and then sometimes you kind of go, well, did they do that on purpose? Was that an uncoordinated thing? Can we blame that one on the owners, how they got themselves into this situation? So that's kind of our fun theme for the day. And then
Love it.
sometimes there's that transition period where you're kind of still a baby trying to do baby things, but you're maybe a little too big to be doing whatever it is. Like you're too big for your car seat, or you're a little too big to be, it's like, okay, time to move off of like baby food onto solid food. And you hit
So
those
awkward stages all around.
Yes, exactly. And we have them throughout life as we're going. You get the awkward braces and glasses stage. There's just
The pimple stage.
exactly. So animals have that same exact problem. And this poor guy, I think he's in the awkward stage of I don't quite know if that's where you're supposed to be hanging out anymore. But you give it a whirl, and he's not quite pulling off getting into the pouch anymore. He's just a little too big,
Oh.
but he wants his pouch time.
You can see the mom is so sweet. She just letting him.
And until I actually saw him succeed, I had no idea kangaroo pouches were that big, because that was a big adolescent kangaroo that got himself in there.
That was very successful. Look at him. Look at him. Like he literally pretzels himself into the
Yeah,
pouch.
but you don't see his head. He's not in there comfortably. It's like a leg and a tail sticking out the backside.
Yeah, that's adorable. And she's just waiting so patiently for him. That is honestly just too cute. Just too cute.
She's got nothing else to do. I think this is at like a kangaroo rescue or something like that in
It looks
Australia.
like it. You can see the drawings in the back
Uh-huh.
and like the fence. Love it. I and those awkward long legs.
Yeah, he's just like I said, he's not in there comfortably. There's like a leg and a tail sticking out, but he's in. He made it inside.
I love that. That is pretty adorable.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That's a fail gone right.
Failed. Okay. Well, some of these have got. Yeah, you're right. It's going to depend on how you look at them, and obviously we're not going to show fails where anybody gets hurt necessarily, because those aren't the kind of fails that we like to see.
I would be very stressed out if that was the kind of fail.
Well, so close your eyes on this next video then.
We're only like 5 minutes into the show, and now I have to be like all stressed out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We start on a little off kilter of not having glasses and eye drop, problems, and then we go into Maria, close your eyes, you might not want to see this video. Yeah, that's
Powerful, powerful podcast here.
the good thing is clearly this guy, I mean, okay, I'm gonna let you guys decide because I don't know what this guy's thought process is because there's really no other way for this next video to turn out than exactly how it turns out. I don't know what this guy's thinking. I mean, he's not gonna crawl
Oh
down.
gosh.
I'm thinking he might fall to one stair and then fall to the next stair, but he's not climbing.
But
What?
is he like trying to be careful? Like I'm not understanding the reasoning behind these guys.
Don't either. Or
And
he's just an adrenaline junkie.
it's carpet though. The dude
Yes,
keeps doing it.
and there's a basket at the bottom, so he's okay.
And
I mean,
I wanted to see him crawling out, but that was it.
he's okay. He's okay. I mean, clearly the owners set this up to an extent, but the turtle knows that it's a drop underneath him. It's not like their eyesight is that poor that he can't tell that he's about to. But then,
But
part
he
of
also
the
didn't go running to jump. Like you can
yeah,
tell that turtle has done it before because he's not running to jump. He's like carefully waiting for the body to lose balance. And
yeah,
he knows he's gonna roll 2 stairs.
yeah,
He did it again. And I think the basket is there because the floor at the bottom is hardwood floor.
yeah. But there's also no guarantee that he's gonna fall in line. Again, I brought this up before on Price is Right. You watched the game Plinko. I know Maria hadn't seen it before, so I explained Plinko to her. For anybody else who hasn't seen Plinko, you're at the top of you walk up the stairs, you're at the top, and then you have a little plastic disc. It almost looks like an air hockey thing. And you let it go, and it bounces off these metal pegs as it slides its way down to the bottom, and whatever dollar amount it hits is the dollar amount you get. Well, this is essentially Plinko. There's no guarantee that he's going to land. I mean, the basket's covering, what, 1/3 of that stairway?
If
I mean,
that,
kind
but
of
the turtle
Plinko.
is very close to that side. Like that turtle is, you can see that turtle is close to that side.
Oh yeah,
He
he's
knows
lining
what he's
himself up,
doing.
but if he hits the wall and bounces sideways, I mean,
He seems to know what he's doing.
yeah.
I keep waiting for his
I like
his
I
video
like
leg.
his legs. He's like, I could tuck and roll, but nope, nope, no, no. That could have easily gone poorly off to the side. I think that is carpet at the bottom, though.
It is
I mean,
carpet at the bottom. You're
I assume
right.
you would
It
put a
is.
plant on carpet, but that looks like it might be carpet down there.
It is carpet. Thank goodness. Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on. We got one more thing I wanted to point out in the video, though, Maria. There's
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
It
Point
might
it
be
out,
my
please.
favorite part of the entire video. I gotta get me this hamper. You seen this hamper? It
Yeah,
like fits on the step and then it's got a cutout so it can perfectly go on the steps and bounce. I've never seen that before. Have you?
you have not.
I've
Okay.
not seen a stair adjusted hamper. You have seen one of these before.
Yes.
Really? This is like a
Yeah.
common thing? Huh.
Well, at least
Okay.
in Michigan.
Really? What I mean, what's the are the washers by the stairs? What's even the point of that
Like
type of
usually what I do in a I live in a 2-story home. So what I do is I usually put stuff that is going up. I throw it on one of the stairs.
okay.
And then whatever is going up, when I'm going up, I just take it with me. Well, that's a nicer way to put it than just tossing it there.
But why wouldn't you just have the hamper in the laundry room or next to the washer, wherever you're
Because it's
washing?
not necessarily a hamper, it's more like the basket. It's a basket to put things in. So
Okay.
if you're gonna go upstairs, but you're cleaning out, you don't want to go upstairs, you put things in there. And then
Okay.
when you go upstairs, you take it. It looks better than just junk all over the place.
Okay. So it's for like
That's
everything, not just clothes necessarily. Okay, because I'm thinking clothes, and I'm like, well, I would just have that basket in the laundry room, and then I would put.
no.
Okay. Interesting. Don't know that it's
Just
something I'd
anything.
spend my money on, but let's chime in if you use these.
Yeah, I've seen them before. I've seen them before. It's
Okay.
just a practical way to have stuff there, especially if you have a lot of family members and you're trying to keep the house organized. It's a nice way to throw things there. Whomever is going up can just take it out
Okay.
upstairs.
Okay. My buddy, his mom had bought a really old house in Los Angeles, like built in like the 20s and 30s. and it actually had like a dumbwaiter. I've never seen one of those before. Like an in the wall little like elevator next to the kitchen, like dumbwaiter to bring things up to the top floors and stuff. I'm like, I thought those were only in movies. I didn't know those actually still existed in life.
My aunt had a house like that. It was a very old house. And
Yeah. And they're usually like cable driven. You can tell when they got like the remodel because then it's got like a button and it's a powered dumbwaiter and it's like, are you really using it enough to actually attach a motor to it and make it modern? Like that's just a feature of like, oh, okay.
But remember, it's a house where people, that's a house that's at least 40, 50 years old. Some of those houses are 100 years old.
Yeah.
So in that time, people did have help. So if they had a cook or something, I think it's awesome.
No,
I used to live in a house. This is not a dumbwaiter and it's not that fancy. But I used to have a house that had in Michigan that had the laundry room in the basement.
Okay.
And in the second floor and in the first floor, there was a little hole, like a little chute, just to throw clothing in. And I loved it. That was the best thing because to me, going up and down with clothing is such a nuisance. If it was up to me, if I were ever to build a home, I will build the laundry room near the rooms or like in near the master's closet with an entry and everything to make it really.
Yeah, I had a house in Vegas and actually the laundry room was on the second floor. So I didn't have to go anywhere. It's like all the bedrooms are on the second floor. So the laundry room's on the second floor. Like, what's the point of going downstairs if everywhere you're going to have clothes? I understand if there's like a downstairs master or even if it's one downstairs guest room, there's still no point. You might as well have the laundry.
I agree.
Upstairs. So I never.
You're not in the kitchen the whole time because what people think is like, oh, you're right next to the kitchen. So if you're doing dishes, the laundry's right there. And I'm thinking, yeah, but laundry takes an hour to wash. You still have to move it. Well, I don't want to be walking things up and down. It's a mess. Like the laundry room is always a mess.
Well, I've seen so many different setups too. Like when my parents got their new house in Texas, they decided like one of the things my mom just had to have was her laundry inside the house. Because when we were in Southern California, the laundry was out in the garage.
Yes.
So not air conditioned. So you have to like go out and deal with the elements to a certain extent. It wasn't that big of a deal. But, you know, when you're buying your retirement home, you're kind of like, this is my wish list. I'd like to be close to water. I'd like a laundry room that's in the house.
I've actually had seen houses like that. You're right. The laundry room outside in the garage, which I find odd because I've also seen it in new constructions.
Well,
and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that? Just build into a mud room. Like my house, you enter from the garage and it's a mud room. Yeah, it's a little messy, but it is perfect.
Yeah, but it's just, again, in Florida, the plots of land are much bigger. If you go to Vegas, like the houses, like the building code is like, okay, you have to be 5 feet from the wall. And so there's like, everybody's like, what's the minimum I can get away with? Okay, cool. That's the footprint of this house. Okay, now I want to maximize the square footage inside the house for people that can live in, you know, so when they design it, sometimes it ends up that way where it's like, okay, it's just, we can't put a doorway here and an entry because usually it's under the stairs and it just it lines up.
That's why I think right next to, like my dream home would be to have the laundry room close to the closet, but I want to have like a entrance. So if for any reason one has to escape, I grew up in Colombia in the 80s and 90s. So if I am a little, like I need to find ways to escape, I want to have
escape routes. Yes. Okay.
Yes, I need to have extra escape routes.
See, so let's see.
So animal fails.
What's this? What did you say?
So speaking of animal fails.
We're gonna pull it all the way back. No. So now I'm gonna tie it back in because there's something that I always thought was adorable anyway. And another perk to having your washer and dryer inside the house, but it's gonna take me a second to find it. So Maria, you entertain everybody. I will be back with you in just a moment.
So Pepita, If I don't know what to talk about, Pepita is always
Okay, I got
the
it.
nice
Good.
topic.
One more time. This is another benefit
your
of
dirt?
having a washer and dryer inside the
Oh,
house.
did you find a nice
Because your dog
place?
can't relax
to be
inside of
done?
it if it's got to go onto the garage.
It's just that it's fresh. It's fresh.
It's fresh, it's warm, and you wanted my fur all over your clean towels too, right? I have to mark it. I have to mark the territory.
That is adorable. The dog is like, maybe I did it wrong. I don't care. This is awesome.
So he's not a baby animal, but this is kind of a fail as far as where you would want to make your bed. So I'm going to count it. I'm going to count it.
Go for it. I think it's adorable. I just love at the end how he's like, whatever. I'm going to just,
That's fine. I'm
I,
going to
gi-
go back to my business over here. It's
I acknowledge you, yet I shall do whatever I want.
Yes. It's a very Chihuahua trait. Usually German Shepherds are a little better about it, but he's just not having that today. So
Maybe it's cold outside. Maybe it's winter time and he just needs to warm up.
yeah, that's what I mean. And it's the other benefit of having your washer and dryers in the house. You don't have to go out into the elements, and then your German Shepherd can enjoy relaxing after you've done laundry.
There you go. That's
good about it too. Because I some people will be like, I just washed those. Literally, that's all the clean clothes you have just laid all over and got your lovely fur all over.
It could also be that if there was a storm or something, because I wasn't sure. It could be, it looked like a dryer.
It was.
It looked like a dryer, but there are some washers that look similar. But what I was thinking is, what if there was a storm going on?
Yeah.
And that there's where he found refuge.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because animals like small spaces if they're trying to. Yeah. So this cat, next cat, he had the same philosophy. Maybe it was a storm outside or something, because he was looking for a small place to hide, and this is what he found. This didn't work out so well for him. It was a little too small of a place for him to hide, but this is where he went. No.
That's adorable. He's getting his they have like the thunder jackets, something called thunder jackets.
Okay.
That you put really tight on a dog to calm them down. It literally is like a wrap, like with Velcro and everything, and you tighten it up so the dog feels the compression, and the compression actually calms them down. So they call them like thunder jackets.
Okay. Interesting.
That's his DIY thunder jacket.
Yeah. See, that was a classic example when we started the show. I was talking about some of the fails may or may not be the animal's fault. We could blame it on the owners. I'm wondering if that cat got himself into that tube, or
I bet you did.
Or if the owners just kind of like egged him on, or you think he got in there himself? I mean, it's a cut tube also, so clearly the owners at least set it up for the joke, because that was definitely not a full. Let's see. Where are we? That was not a full paper tube. No.
He's not a happy kitten.
He's trying to
get this thing out, man.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That was adorable. That was very cute. But those are the kind of things that are just cute to watch, and then you help your animal get out of it, and it's fine. Nobody's hurt. There's certain things that cats do that are just like, several videos ago, we're watching the cat jumping on a box that was above another box. And the box falls, and the face of the lady one of the girls who was there watching, it was just so funny. Like, you can tell something's gonna happen. just let your cat experience the joys of it, I guess.
Or the cat had already done it once, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna set it up again. I want to get this on camera," so they knew exactly what was coming.
Yeah, that's probably the case.
So it's not always just pets. We did see the kangaroo that couldn't get itself in. But there's certain animals that have reputations for certain activities. So, and we don't think about it, but they have to actually learn how to interact in these environments. So when you think of a raccoon, what's the typical phrase you think of when you think of a raccoon?
Trash panda.
Okay, exactly.
Not afraid.
Exactly. So you would assume that, man, that's like their nickname, that they've got to be like the masters of the trash can. But even a baby raccoon has to learn how to be a proper trash panda in its lifetime.
Oh, that's too wet, man.
Yeah, he's wet, he's adorable. He's done trash pandaing for the day, and now he's gonna leave.
And good. Oh, my poor
No,
baby.
no, he's not going to leave. Um,
I love that little jump that he makes right there.
I get,
Like
oh,
he doesn't even jump. He almost like
yeah. I think that was one of those experiences where it's like, okay, I'm nowhere, I'm not even close to making it. I don't know what the vertical leaping ability of a raccoon is, but that was almost twice his size as far as like the distance he had to cover to get to the edge of that trash can.
I think if he would have put maybe a little bit more effort, he could have used his little pads to do it. But whomever was
Pretty
filming, I
far.
am sure helped them out.
Let's see. Let's see. He's pretty far away from the edge at this point. So he's gonna stand and he's gotta cover like almost his full body length.
Yes, pretty much. But the legs are not fully extended, and neither are his arms.
Yeah, but I don't know that a raccoon can jump its full body length, can it? Like
They're
cats can
pretty
easily
agile.
5 times their body length, but
Like he didn't even try. He didn't even try. That was like the weakest half.
That is just poor effort.
That was such a weak jump. It was adorable. He's also a baby.
Okay. So Maria is chalking this animal fail up to just lack of effort. Just yeah, sorry for you.
You're cute, but that's a 5.
Gotcha. So some animals are known to be relatively agile animals. And then they look really agile, and as with all of us, sometimes you just take a misstep. Now I can't tell if this next animal is clumsy, took a misstep, or he's a tiny animal. He's a baby, so he's still working out his coordination. So I want you to chime in and let me know what happened here.
Okay.
As this scenario plays out.
Oh, that was painful. That was painful. Like I feel pain for the guy. Slow motion fall.
I'm good. I'm walking away.
Hold on.
I'm horsing.
That was weird. I'm rewinding, so I'm sorry.
It almost looks like just like a black ice kind of slip to me, but I don't see anything there. That is concrete, though. Now that I'm
It
looking
is
at
concrete. He takes the curve too fast.
Yeah.
He hits the ledge. You
But
can
he's
see
already
his
falling at that point. So I'm just blaming it straight on the concrete. Like I've got hooves and concrete, and that's it.
Yeah, that was a little too slippery. That guy was trying.
Like the entire time. It almost looks like you just tipped over a stuffed animal because it's just such a tiny pony to begin with.
He is.
And he bounces up. He's okay.
But that head bounce was painful.
And he picks
You
up.
can tell he hit his neck, but he's fine.
And I don't know what that is on his shoulder, but that's not there before he falls. But I think that's just some junk that was on the ground that he picks up. It's like, I'm good. I'm going this way. And then he shakes it off.
He did look like, what was that junk? Did he hurt himself? No, it didn't look like he did, because when you look right before he turns, you can almost see whatever it is sticking out.
Yeah, it's just stuck to the fur on him, his hair. I thought that at first when I first watched it, I thought he was bleeding, and I'm like, all right, if he's bleeding, I don't know that I'm going to show this. But
no, but you can see it sticking out. Like when you look at it right where I stopped it, it's sticking out a little bit. So we think that guy's okay. I will believe that as an owner, if my animal gets hurt, I will not show the video. Like there will be no way I will show my animal getting hurt, even if he's funny.
Yeah.
So that would be, now if I need to do surgery for it, I need to show the video. So to raise funds, then that's a different story.
Maria's morality has a caveat, everybody. No, just kidding.
It's not about that. If you need to raise funds, like if a cat is injured, like you work in rescue and a cat is injured, or a dog is injured or something, you actually have to kind of show people that it's not, oh, I'm making up this animal. No, this is the cat. This is what's going on. This is the surgery. This is the bone. And you kind of present it so people know that what you're doing is true.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't connect to what's going on, then it's hard to get people to support. So yeah, if you can tell them the story and then show them before and after, and then people at least get the feeling they know that what they provided helped, because you get the
Exactly.
after videos. Yeah, no, I totally understand. I was just
Mhm.
cracking jokes. We were talking about laundry. I was gonna joke how the laundry chute coming down is it's a fantastic invention, but then every time when I'm done with my laundry, the chutes never work because I'm trying to throw it back up there and it just keeps sliding back down.
We need the
But
dumb waiter.
that's just my sense of humor, though. So you know that I was in no way trying to actually make fun of you. That was just me being me. Um, so there are some things in the animal world that are both beautiful and fails all at the same time.
Artistically done, Phil.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
I didn't want to show the process because it might have been a little too graphic for some people.
Okay,
But
thank you.
this next one is basically the immediate aftermath of this guy's entry into the world. And when a giraffe enters
I
the
know what you mean
world,
by graphic. Okay, it's not gruesome. Oh, look how cute
yes,
it is.
yes. The thing is, when a giraffe enters the world, guys, most people don't realize this until you think about it. They fall about 6 feet, and here's the fail part. This is giraffe trying to walk fail. That's how it made the video, everybody. Um,
The front leg. You see how hard he's.
The back legs work. Hold on. Oh, front legs? No. Oh.
That is precious. That is absolutely precious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew what you meant now by graphic. Like that's the good kind of graphic.
Yes, the birth of a giraffe is a little bit graphic, so I did not want to include that, but
No, but that was beautiful. The moment you capture after, like, if they had gone
it was
fallen,
right
and
after. Yeah.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
tell.
the
You can
water
tell.
broke and it was right after. So I thought that was probably the best, especially since we're talking about an animal fails video here. And the fails is more the giraffe trying to walk. But basically the breakdown is so the gestation for a giraffe is like 14 months. And then when they're born, they fall about 6 feet. But basically the same way that they used to joke or you see in movies how like the doctor slaps the baby or spanks the baby to get it to start crying. That's essentially what happens with giraffes because when they fall that 6 feet, it gives them that kind of shock pump that actually gets them crying and gets everything like moving.
And fluids to excrete any fluids that may remain in the lungs, which is actually
Exactly.
very dangerous if they keep them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Mm-hmm.
with babies now they use the machine that kind of like sucks them.
Yeah, you just use the little it's like a turkey baster and you just boom done. I mean, we don't have to pick up a human baby and drop it from 6 feet to get it moving. I mean, you could, but I don't think that'd be a great start.
No, I think that would be very horrible.
um, but then basically, and it was interesting because I didn't really. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't think about it. Giraffes start walking within like 30 to 60 minutes of being born. And it's for defensive purposes because the herd needs to keep moving still. They
Like, I
can't,
actually think that's too long.
well, that's usually when they kind of start taking their first steps. They immediately start trying to work it out. But
Yeah.
it's one of those animals that starts walking really like most hooved animals don't walk that quickly. Like they're one of the first, like, I don't know what they call them, like clove animals, whatever that, if you have that type of hoof. Like
Okay.
horses don't walk like immediately within like 30 to 60 minutes. Um, but basically that's the premise is they need to get it moving because they can't, oh, okay, let's wait a year in this one place so your baby can learn how to walk. I mean, I don't think giraffes would still be around if that was the case, but
No, that's true. But
uh,
like rhinos, they within minutes. Like rhinos within minutes they learn to walk. But they
really,
also have smaller legs. The thing is, when you have an animal like a horse or a giraffe, their legs are really, really long. It's very cumbersome to get
well,
all those move. Yes.
I would just think it's like a strength balance thing. Like human babies don't walk well because you only have 2 feet, so you need to work out balance and strength. But a rhino is already pretty strong and pretty balanced because they're low to the ground and their legs are built up
Yep.
pretty well. So yeah, that would make sense.
Yep. Sturdy
And
creatures.
it's going to take a giraffe a while, but it was pretty surprising to me that giraffes are walking within 30 to 60 minutes.
That's adorable. That is so cute.
Mm-hmm,
They look so they're all legs and neck.
Yeah. I have, like I said, it's coming up. I mentioned it last video. We've got another one coming up. I didn't figure out where it was. This actually would have been a good spot for it, but it's like a baby giraffe like chasing birds.
Oh yeah, you
And just
mentioned that.
watching that gallop of them chasing the birds and stuff is, you would think it'd be awkward, but it actually just ends up being like really majestic and like really graceful the way they're able to move all that size. And they move pretty fast too. Most people don't realize giraffes can, but they have such long strides. It's like that deceptive, put somebody that's like 6'5" in a foot race with somebody that's 5'2", and it looks like the person that's 5'2" is working that much harder just for, yeah.
Shorter legs, more strides.
Exactly. So sometimes you're just trying to play. And in this one, I'm not quite sure it's puppy, but you know what? I just love the video, so I threw it in. It's close enough. I'm calling it a puppy just because I thought it was hilarious. So once you get your feet under you, you want to start hanging out and playing with your owner and stuff. And sometimes they're doing something, and you just want to jump in and join them. But sometimes when you jump in and join them, it doesn't work out that well for you.
Look how well he balanced to land in the water. I mean, look at his body.
But there's that moment he's like, "Oh, I'm hanging out. Oh, we're gonna go. Okay, hold on. Wait. You didn't wait for me. Hold on. Let me jump on there. Give me a second. Hold on. Oh, let's go. Oh, wait. Hold on."
I feel bad because the board lifted him up, but yet he landed beautifully. Yeah, that was a 10 right there in landing.
Paws pointed down. He's gonna tuck his head. Like, I mean, if that was like Olympic dog diving, I would have had to give him like an 8 or a 9 on that one. I think that would have been...
I gave him a 10. That was incredible.
I don't know. I think there's a little too flopsy there. That could just be the breed, but I don't know. I don't think he was graceful until the very end. So you got to be graceful the whole way through. That's
he got lifted up. No, I think the recover was a 10. The way he was launched up was against him. He managed to do it. He did it perfect. 10. Very cat-like.
I want ratings from everybody else. I'm giving it an 8 because I think the initial part of the dive was like a 2.
It wasn't his fault.
The initial part was a 2, and then like the end was a 10, but he kind of, once he gets thrown, he does the side flail a couple times. I think he could have graceful that out a little bit more. I think when he flexed his abs, he could have controlled that kind of wobbly flail.
No. He needed to flap the ears properly so that he could.
That would have been a Dumbo fly. That definitely would have increased his score with me here. Hold on. We're going to let everybody look at it one more time because I actually want some scores. I want some scores down in the comments for what everybody else would give this dive. See, my problem with the dive is right around here. That little extra flail is going to be my issue. That bobble. Okay, now it's graceful.
I'm actually impressed with the dog, and I'm glad he landed. He looks like he's going to land on the water. I hope he does.
Yeah, he does.
He's too close to the edge. But he'll land in the water.
His toes are about to touch the water at that point. So.
But I mean, he's off the ledge, which was my bigger concern.
Yeah, he was.
That he will hit his head.
No, he was off just enough, and then his toes, and he's okay. He's like I said.
He's okay.
Not going to show I didn't like intentionally edit it like, oh yeah, that dog totally hit the dock, and then like there's some that didn't go well. I'll just edit that part out.
Then some sharks came.
Yeah, no, I'm not like editing out the gory gruesome just to make it funny. Even I couldn't. I'd just be like, no, because I know what happens next, and then that wouldn't be enjoyable to watch. So.
Yes, I agree. Okay. So you guys have to decide what you guys think. I give it a 10. Ryan gives it an 8.
Yes.
I love to hear your comments because I'm not gonna say more because I don't want to be biased.
Yeah, I've said my piece. So, I mean, if you said it was a 10, then clearly you didn't think anything was wrong with it. So, but I guess you could be biased by selling the points that you thought made it so graceful. But But had he got the ears and the Dumbo fly, you're right. I definitely would have had to up his score. But I'm giving it an 8. It's an 8. I'm giving the horse like a 3. His recovery was like an 8. I mean, he just bounced right back up like nothing happened. So the pony gets like a 3 and then an 8 on the recovery for me. But
The pony, I gotta tell you, that recovery was incredible.
it was.
My biggest concern is when he fell, there was a backslash on the
Yes.
neck. So that
Yes.
was my bigger concern. So I don't remember. There was one I scored it already. I scored somebody a 4. I can't remember who it was.
Okay.
I don't think it was the pony.
So
Maybe it was
all of the videos that we've seen thus far, what are your favorites then? Let's do like an America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, what are your top 2 that we have to vote on now to see which one the audience likes the most?
I think the first one with the kangaroo was the most adorable.
Okay.
Everybody was fine. It was adorable. I love how the mom was very, very patient, and I love the persistence of the kangaroo.
Okay.
I love at the end of the dog in the dryer how he or she completely ignores the owner.
Okay.
And I gotta give it to the turtle. That was very, very gutsy.
Okay. We knew Raccoon wasn't going to make your list because you thought that was just the poorest effort.
That's the one I gave a 4.
Okay. You're like, he didn't even try to jump. Like, that was just the most, that was the
that was actually
effort.
very generous.
Okay. So
very generous.
Maria is definitely putting the raccoon at the bottom of her list. And if you gave the dog a 10, now then that means that the dog would be the winner for you of all.
No,
those?
I don't think no.
The dog is a 10, but the video was not a 10.
Exactly. The die was a 10. I thought you meant the other dog, the one who was ignoring the owner. That one is cute, but I think my favorite is those 3. The dog dive, the kangaroo pouch, and the flying turtle.
Okay. So we got turtle tumble.
Order.
We got to give them cute names. I think that's what they do on America's Funniest Home Videos. So we've got turtle tumble. That'll be 1. Kangaroo.
Flying dog.
Kangaroo nap fail. Nope, that's not gonna work. I can't come up with a good title for that one off the. And the flying dog, of course. Flying dog, turtle tumble. We don't have a cute title for the kangaroo, guys. Give us a cute title for the kangaroo.
Would you please help us with it?
Live chat right now. That would be perfect. I don't know. The pony was good. Man, I don't know. If you're going for adorable, I think the giraffe beats the kangaroo, though, almost.
You're right. I forgot about the giraffe. But to me, the giraffe was just being born. It's part of what he does. But the persistence of the kangaroo was just too adorable. Like, he fell down and he kept going. He knew he could do it. He almost grabbed his paw to kind of close the pouch. Not his paw, but it was adorable.
See, so I'm gonna restructure this thought process just a little bit here. So the video topic for the day was baby animal fails. So I would almost have to go kangaroo, raccoon, probably pony, because those were the biggest failures.
Those are the biggest fails.
Like, that kangaroo was horrible. Like, that is the worst kangarooing I've ever seen. Like, you get to a certain age and you forget how to kangaroo or something, and that's basically what we got to see.
No, the biggest fail to me was the raccoon. Like, the biggest fail of all was the raccoon.
Yeah.
Because at least the horse was trying. He just slipped and fell.
Yes.
But the raccoon was like... Ugh.
And we don't know the origin of... Well, what happened? We don't know the origin of this one, so it's tough to throw this one on the list. Because did the human do it? Did the cat do it?
Yeah, but that's not a fail. To me, it's more like the kitty is just not enjoying that tube by any means.
Well, if you give a cat a toilet paper roll and they trap themselves inside of it, I'm calling that a fail.
But I didn't see them getting into it.
That's not how you play with the toilet paper roll. I'm sorry. You had a hack channel back in the day, and you had an animal hacks, and not in any of the animal hacks did you ever do if you have a toilet paper roll, you can encase your cat in it. That was not one of the hacks.
We did a lot of hacks with toilet paper rolls, though.
We did. We did, but definitely not how to entrap your animal within one. That is in no way a successful.
Yeah, no.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing.
Okay, so random question for you, Maria. Would you rather have a baby that looks like a puppy or a puppy that looks like a baby?
What kind of baby?
I don't know, like human baby.
That looks horrible.
I know.
How will a puppy look like a baby? Like, are we gonna put it like a human-looking animal?
Essentially to like organize it in your brain, just like if their brains were swapped. So now your dog brain is in a baby body and your baby brain is in a dog body. We've seen this in movies. Like it's one of those like
Swap, Freaky
yes,
Friday style.
yes. So you've got like this, yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, when you talk about dog brains, many dogs, their brains are of like a toddler. They can learn words, they can recognize them, they can be trained. So depends on the age of the puppy, because then the puppy will be just almost as smart as the baby. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. So I'm biased towards dogs. So I think
Okay.
I will always go with puppy style. And if you look like a baby because he's all fat and you just want to do this to them, because most babies, human babies are like fat and they have the fat rolls that are just adorable.
Okay. Okay. See, I took it the other way, very, very literally. Of like, my neighbors are gonna come over and hang out with me and my new baby. That's a human baby, but it's eating dog food, chasing tennis balls, peeing on the carpet, like doing all the dog things because it's a dog in a baby body. So I was literally thinking like, oh, okay, but then I could have like a human baby in a dog body, but the way people treat their animals these days, I mean, sometimes peeps might as well be a human baby in a dog body. So I almost went that route just because it socially seemed a little bit more normal these days to like have your puppy in like a baby carriage and dress them up and do all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So I kind of went with the very literal. I don't know if I'd want people like how bad of a parent would I look like if my kid's at the playground playing with the other kids and it's like digging holes and like peeing on the pole of the playground equipment. You know,
Barking.
yeah, barking exactly. And then your kid at like age 2 can't even speak. You're just like, what's wrong with your kid? Um,
Like, where do we begin?
yeah, so I kind of went
Why
that
is your
way.
child howling? Why is your child howling?
Yes, exactly. It's like it was raised by wolves. We adopted. We adopted. It's okay.
I was
One more.
watching a comedian. I was watching a comedian talk about his father passing away.
Okay.
And he was saying that his mom, and I'm paraphrasing, he made it sound incredible and very funny. I probably won't, but I want to tell you the story. So he was saying, I want to show you how much Americans have become a dog nation, like how much they have become a dog nation. So he said his father passed away, and the mom 2 days later is like, how do we tell the dog, a 15-year-old dog, that daddy passed away? Okay. So the woman tells the dog, your dad passed away, and the dog goes into the dad's bed and jumps in it and dies. As soon as he says, and the dog died, everybody was like, oh. And then he stops and says, you hear yourselves? When I told you my father died, nobody said a peep. You can hear the drop, like a pin dropping. But as soon as he said the dog passed away, everybody went, oh, it was so sad. I was
I
like,
mean, that's a comedian's job is to spin things. But when you start the story with an understood fact, you're not given time to warm into that emotion. And I know that he's a comedian, so and he did his job perfectly. But that's not a bad reflection on humans because if you're I always read those stories of like, oh, their owner like there was the dog, I forgot where the train station was. I think it was in
Japan.
Japan. Yeah, and somebody's owner went off to war and died and didn't come back, and the dog would go to the train station every single day waiting for his owner to come back. And then the train people basically adopted the dog because they saw it every day. And then when the dog finally passed away, they actually made a statue for the dog in remembrance of that loyalty and that bond with humans. Well, even in that story, you're not going, oh, the guy died at war, because he's not the focus of the story. The focus of the story is the sad things that happen because he died to this animal, and I'm going to keep telling you more about this animal. So
Exactly.
I'm letting everybody off the hook for not going, oh, his owner died in the war.
No, and not only that, but I think the more impressive part of storytelling is, in my opinion, I would have probably responded the same way, because when he said the dog, they explained to the dog what had happened, and the dog jumps in the couch where dad used to be, and the dog passes away. That shows too much compassion and understanding that goes above and beyond what you expect an animal to do.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But
That's the
speaking of that, like within the same train of thought, I was talking yesterday to a friend of mine who volunteers for a couple of rescues.
okay.
And several weeks ago, one of her friends passed away. And she had adopted a dog who by now was 18 years old, an old Chihuahua who was blind and deaf. Well, the dog had kidney failure. The dog was in pain. And when they brought it to her, the dog will cry the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So when she took it to the vet, she's like, "What should we do with this animal? I mean, the animal is clearly in pain, and he cannot see or hear, and is smelling different things, and tasting different things, and feeling different things." So they had to put the dog down, and I felt so bad, but I also understood the dog was already really, really old, and the animal not comprehending what was happening was heartbreaking. So they
Yeah,
had to make that very tough decision to put
yeah.
him down, which, you know,
If you guys watch this show enough, you know that Maria has a hard time when animals are battling, as far as someone's got to eat and someone's got to be a predator and prey and stuff like that. My hardest part is when we start talking about animals being put down, because it's hard, because I've said this in the past. I've never had a pet that I've been with all the way to the end of its life, like its old age. So it's hard because I've never been in that situation. But I am definitely more on the side of somebody that is like, you make it work. Like, you figure it out. If they need smells, you find a t-shirt, you do whatever you have to do. Because to me, it almost just feels like giving up. And I know that there's certain situations where, okay, this dog can no longer walk. It's taking just the amount of painkillers that its kidney's only going to last another two
and
weeks.
that's what was happening. I mean, the
It
dog
does
had kidney
nothing but,
problems.
yeah, nothing but like, there's certain really extreme circumstances where I'm like, okay, I definitely don't like it, but I guess I get it. But for me, there's sometimes I think people, and I'm not to be judgmental because every situation has its own set of circumstances, but I think sometimes people give up a little too early on animals. I feel like they're kind of like, oh, well, they're not living this life anymore. And I'm just one of those proponents of all the joy and love that that animal gave to you throughout its lifetime, and now it's 14, 15, and it can't go for a walk, but it still enjoys watching the TV and curling in its bed, and maybe it's only awake 2-3 hours, and maybe you have to make specialty food for it, and it's just like, you do that. If you can do it, you do
Yeah,
it.
but if you can, and like for example, in this particular case, they're like, dog is in pain, kidney failure, heart problems,
I,
18 years old, blind, deaf, crying the whole time. What do you do? Like, there is no way that you could have given that animal a better life. The dog was way past
no, I
beyond the
understand. It's just the crying all day too. Is it emotionally crying or pain crying? You assume it's pain crying because the dog's old. Maybe it's just sad and it's emotionally
Oh, I
crying.
bet it is. Oh, I
Owner's
bet.
gone. So you find some TV shows it might enjoy. You get some T-shirts it can smell. You see if maybe you
That's
can
if
get.
you are the family member. Like that should be,
I
but the dog was surrendered to the shelter. They
okay.
found the rescue. The rescue took it in, and the rescue's like,
Yeah,
we don't know what this.
yeah. No, I got you.
I think she made the right choice, but it is, as you say, is very tough because unless you're there or unless you know the animal, it's hard to make a decision.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there are cases where people give up way too easy.
I just, and I get it because it's a rescue and that's a different situation because rescues have to care for all the animals and take care yeah. And I don't, like I said, I'm in no way saying they did something wrong. I'm just saying if the situation was slightly different, I'm probably one of those people that would go way too far. You could almost make the counter argument of, okay, you're kind of torturing your animal now. You think
And
it's okay.
yourself.
You think it's having fun. You think it's enjoying life. You think it, or you can't let it go emotionally. So like I said, I don't say that my way's the right way. And again, I've never been in the situation. So it's so easy to say, I would do this, or you should do that, or this is the way I would approach it. I haven't been in the situation. It's like a relationship. You can always give advice to your friends, and you can be the exact same relationship problem, and you wouldn't take that same advice giving to you because no, you don't understand. This is unique. This is different. Once you involve your own emotions, you're no longer separated and giving good counsel.
Exactly. And when
So
it comes to animal behaviors and things like that, yeah, you do the best you can. But there are times with Pepita where I'm like, Pepita, if you need to go, please go. I do not want to make the decision to put you down. Like, please don't make me make that decision because it
yeah,
is so painful. I already had to do it with another dog, and it was very painful
yeah,
to decide and then it's when you need a supportive veterinarian,
mm-hmm.
you know, a veterinarian who understands both sides of the story and helps you come to the realization what choice will be best for the animal, not for you, or will be
Yeah,
best for the animal, and how you can make the rest of their lives better, or if you're extending pain. So then
yeah,
is when you need a really good doctor that will make you feel that your decision is truly a good decision. And I think counseling is very important. And that's why it's so hard to be a vet, because you get both
yeah.
extremes. People who just, they're like, I want to keep the dog in pain med when the dog is like a skeleton.
Yeah, and that's I was gonna say that too. I think that that's definitely one of the jobs in this world that I don't think people really appreciate enough because a good vet tech or a good vet, they've got to you've got to be a doctor but a psychologist at the same time. And you've got to be able to convey and find the middle ground and convey medical stuff, but then take into account psychological stuff and all the other things that are happening. And then you've got to assess a dog human relationship that you're not necessarily a part of, if it's not your regular vet. And then you've got to try to read the dog's body language. Again, if it's not, when you're a kid as a human, you have a pediatrician. You've got doctors that are specifically for kids. They're either better with kids, they understand kids, and you have that doctor. I mean, you see movies and jokes. I can't think of the movie off the top of my head, but there's like a 20-something-year-old still going to their pediatrician, and that's like the running joke. I think it's an Adam Sandler movie, possibly,
It
but he's
could
sitting
be.
in the waiting room to go to his pediatrician. But it's like, yeah, that seems funny, and no, I'm not saying people should do it, but I'm just saying like that doctor has known you and your history throughout your entire life. So if you don't have a regular vet or vet tech, now they're trying to play catch up and they're trying to read a situation they don't really know. And most people don't carry their dog's medical records the way they keep their own history of medical records. So you can go, here's the folder, research it. So I
Exactly.
don't. Vets and vet techs definitely do not get enough appreciation for the stuff
So
that they.
when I wanted to be a vet, I wanted to be a vet. And so I worked with a lady who worked with horses. So for
Mhm.
a while, I worked with a lady with horses, and that was fascinating. Then I worked with a guy who did more of like chiropractic work. And then I worked with a neighbor of mine. And by the second surgery, I wanted to die.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is not for me. And I realized that it wasn't necessarily so much the blood, but dealing with humans and how they take care of their dogs. Because
Hmm.
some humans are amazing taking care of animals, and others you're like, I wish I could take your dog away from you.
Yeah. Hmm.
But you
Exactly.
cannot make that decision. It's not your decision to make.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing for me, and why one of the reasons, besides I cannot stand the sight of blood, I will faint, like literally will. A needle will make me faint. But also the interaction between human and animal. And you can't boss everybody and tell them you need to treat your animal with more respect. You need to do this. You don't hit your animal.
Yeah, you
That
don't
was
have the yeah, you don't have the laws in place like a human doctor does as far as like, okay, I see abuse, I'm calling this person, or I noticed this, or there's this resource you can utilize, and animals can't talk. So all we can do is read what we think is going on. And as we talked about in a previous video with cats and dogs, even when animals read each other, they'll misread. A dog puts a paw up and tries to pat a cat on the head, and you're trying to get a new cat into your family, and maybe that cat thinks it's being attacked, and the dog's just trying to pet it. So even dogs or animals don't understand each other sometimes.
Yep, that
If you
is so true.
that case too of being too smart for your own good, where you're overreading a situation sometimes or it's just so difficult for everybody. All right. Well, we went on to that was an interesting section of the show. I didn't think we'd get animal fails to here. Not that it's a bad section whatsoever, but had you told me at the beginning of the show you're going to start off with animal fails and you're going to end up with animal care and vets and animal
welfare
towards the end of their life and animal welfare, and that was very interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We always enjoy having you guys. Please do us a favor and go over and subscribe on YouTube and click the bell icon so you get notifications for all of our future videos. If you're catching this on a podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever it might be, definitely give us a follow or a like. And in all platforms you guys are catching us, please give us some comments. We really appreciate the feedback, hearing what everybody has to say. And as always, all the fun questions we brought up today, all the hypotheticals, all the rate this and do that. There's community posts in YouTube and over at Patreon. We post all these questions so everybody can chat about them and build the community. And again, over on Patreon, guys, all the social posts are free. So you don't have to subscribe. It's just a good place for us to get everybody together. So YouTube or there. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining us.